What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. This video is going to be posted on, I believe, my YouTube channel, Swimbait Sagas, as well as Instagram. This is going to be another video about scent and why I use it and what scent that I believe is the best scent on the market. It's not going to be quite the same as the last video. In this video I have like a little bit of an experiment that I set up. So yeah, let's get right into it. So now that I've teamed up with Bass Dynasty, I just want to make that a little bit transparent that I am affiliated with them. However, I've used their scents before I had any affiliation with them at all. Didn't even talk to anybody at Bass Dynasty, didn't know anybody at Bass Dynasty. I just really believed in the product and the contents of the product, and I liked the whole way the company started, with Lip Rippers first and then with Bass Dynasty. I just really supported that small business mentality and come up basically from the ground up, and not just another company making a gimmick product of their already successful product lineup just to snag that extra dollar. That's definitely not what Bass Dynasty is. Anyway, let's get into the actual product and why I believe that it's the best. So bass, the way bass smell is they smell through, I don't know the exact correct term, but basically in order for them to be able to smell something, it has to be able to be dissolvable in water. So it has to be water soluble. So a lot of the scents out there on the market are oil based, specifically only oil based, strictly. So what that means is, for us, we might be able to smell the aromas of the fish coming off of these oils. But for bass, there's no way that they could smell it. Why? Because oil does not dilute into water. So basically, essentially, all you're doing is coating the bait in an oil that potentially can mask human odor, but they definitely cannot taste or smell the scent. In my opinion, there has been several books written by reputable scientists that have stated this. It's just a simple fact. I've kept fish in aquariums for many years, and oil is not really anything that's used to attract or entice your fish. Now, what is used is garlic, pure garlic, which Bass Dynasty does have a scent right here, garlic, and that actually is known to attract or entice a fish to bite or eat something. Oftentimes in the aquarium hobby, when you have a sick fish, they'll tell you to soak their food in garlic, or when they won't eat, to soak their food in garlic, because the garlic will actually get them to eat. And often a lot of the fish food supplements out there have garlic in it. Anyways, getting back to the oil-based scent theory. So if you've ever known about an oil slick in the ocean, you'll always notice one thing. What does oil do? It floats on the surface. So not only does oil not dissolve in water, but it floats on the surface, and it also comes off of your bait quickly, meaning that once you apply it on there, you maybe have one or two casts that the oil is really on there. After that, it washes off. Now, there is, I believe, potentially a time and a place for an oil-based scent. Maybe in a situation where you only want to mask your human odor and you don't want to give off any scent, then maybe an oil-based scent would be your deal. But other than that, I believe a water-soluble based scent is the way to go. Not to say that Bass Dynasty is 100% water-soluble, because I think that there's components in there that are, and there's components in there that aren't. But I do believe it's a pretty good mixture that allows for the best of both worlds. These products are made with actual real live forage species. So if you have a trout scent, it's actually made with trout. If you have a bluegill, it's actually made with bluegill, nightcrawler made with nightcrawlers, etc., etc. So I've actually done a little bit of an experiment to prove my oil-based scent theory, that oil-based scents do not dissolve in water and are not able to be smelled by bass, and that Bass Dynasty is. So we have two water bottles over here. These were brand new water bottles. I just poured half the water out. In this bottle I put Bass Dynasty. In this bottle I put an oil-based scent. I'm not going to name any brand names out there, but an oil-based scent, and we have Bass Dynasty. So as you can see, the oil, you could practically drink that water that's under that oil. Now I've let these sit for a couple of weeks just to prove the fact that oil will never dissolve into water no matter how long you let it sit. You could tell, even if you shake it up, we'll come back to it a couple seconds later and you'll see, I have a Sharpied line on here. You'll see in a couple minutes the oil will be back at the surface. Bass Dynasty, you can see it's very cloudy in that water bottle. There's no visible water, clear drinkable water in there. So what this tells me is that that scent is actually dissolving in the water. So just to be clear, this is the Bass Dynasty. This is the water with the oil-based scent. So as you could tell, the Bass Dynasty adheres very well to the bottle. This has not came off since I've put the scent in the water. It adheres very well to the bottle and it also dissolves into the water. There's no part of this water that's clear. And now we go back to the oil-based scent. You could already tell the oil is already separating from the water. Never once does this oil dissolve in the water. This does. So what that proves to me is that the scent, Bass Dynasty scent, dissolves in water. Bass are able to smell it. Oil-based attractants are non-dissolvable in water. Bass are unable to smell it. That's just the way they smell. They don't smell through air like us. They smell through water. So, in order for them to be able to smell it, it must be able to be dissolvable in water. Another reason why I believe Bass Dynasty is the best scent that is out there currently is because it adheres to your baits very well. I briefly mentioned that it adheres to the bottle. It has not come off of the bottle right here. It adheres to your baits for a very long time, meaning you need to apply less applications. It'll stay on longer. It won't wash off. You won't have to be sitting there every single cast applying scent. It's going to stay on sometimes for 50 plus casts and you won't even ever have to reapply. So that's another big component of why I like Bass Dynasty. Also, the array of scent flavors they have. Nobody on the market, I believe, has a bluegill scent yet. Bass Dynasty, I believe, was the first. I'm missing two here. They have a crawfish and a leech. I generally don't fish crawfish and leech baits, so I don't really have that on hand. But what I do have is the garlic. I'll use the garlic for pretty much anything that I want to be versatile with, that I don't really, it doesn't really mimic an exact forage species. I'll use the garlic. I'll also use the garlic at night. All these other ones pretty self-explanatory. Use them when they apply. My favorite by far has to be the stalker trout. And this, I'm not just saying this blindly. Bass Dynasty is not the only company that I've ever used as far as scents go. I've used countless companies. I think I've pretty much used every single scent that's on the market currently. And out of all of them, I feel Bass Dynasty's made the most difference in the amount of strikes I get, the amount of time the fish holds on longer. So what I'll do typically is I'll apply this to soft baits for the most part. So for instance, like your typical Huddleston, I'll apply it to the bait, use the tail to rub it on. It's pretty mess free. Sorry for that quick cut. But I'll also not be afraid to apply it to a hard bait. So like for instance, this big 15-inch glide bait, I'll maybe apply a thin layer. Especially helps when you notice fish are following very, very closely and they're not making a decision. That's when I'll go ahead and apply it to hard baits. I typically will not apply it to hard baits when I'm just covering water moving through an area, but I've noticed there are times when I believe when fish are very finicky and following up on your bait that maybe it does really matter. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a quick rundown of why I like Bass Dynasty, why I believe it's the best scent on the market, attractant scent, and why I use it. And hope you guys all enjoyed. Maybe you guys could go pick yourself up a bottle. I typically don't like to talk about this kind of stuff, but I figured I'd put it out there for you guys. and I needed to revamp my old video talking about Bass Dynasty. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Till next time, later.